The NBA playing tournament is here, and there's still a lot to be desired from some teams. The Mavericks experiment didn't work out. What's the next for Kyrie and Luka? We'll see. OBJ got paid, so what does this mean for D Hop? There's a lot to unpack, so let's start with some theme music, please. All right, welcome to the Unbiased Podcast, where we take an unbiased look into the biased world of sports. But y'all know there's more than one side of a story, so I need the homies' help. I got hey, for real this time, and I got Cam. What's good, fellas?
Yo.
Yep, still keeping it 5 on the black hand side. So let's ride. Let's start in the NFL. Over the last few weeks, we've analyzed the NFC and their respective division champs. So it's time to wrap up that conference with the NFC West. The Niners were the best in the West and now have added Javon Hargrave to the already number one defense. They'll be without the defensive coordinator, DeMeco Ryans, who will be the head coach in Houston. The Seahawks rewarded Geno Smith's Pro Bowl season with a new contract and possess the 5th pick in the draft. Bobby Wagner is back on that defense as well. Los Angeles Rams traded away All-Pro Jalen Ramsey in order to rework cap space, and after the departure of Bobby Wagner from their defense, a rebuild is imminent. The Cardinals have the 3rd pick in the draft, a new coach, and they hurt franchise quarterback. So Cam, let's start this off for this time. Which team is the biggest threat to the Niners in the West?
I think it's the Seahawks, man. With them bringing Geno back on that 3-year deal, he's coming off of over 4,000 yards last season, 30 touchdowns, 11 interceptions. I think he got the deal that he deserves. He played great last year, and there's a lot of weapons on this team right now. Kenneth Walker had over 1,000 yards. DK Metcalf, Tyler Lockett, still some. Those are some top receivers in the NFL. Got Noah Fant, who is a great tight end as well. They got 10 draft picks, man. If they don't trade any away, I think that they would. I think that they can get a lot of guys, and they got 4 in the first 2 rounds. They need edge rushers. I think they need a little bit of depth at the running back position. But I think that's the closest threat that the 49ers are going to have. That's the biggest threat that they're going to have. I don't see it with the Cardinals. J.J. Watt's gone as well. They're shopping D-Hop, possibly. Going to be getting rid of him. Like you said, new coach. They just need too much. And L.A., I just don't see it happening, man. They need too much as well. And their draft picks they don't even have a first-round draft pick this year. So I don't see them being any competition for them.
Yeah, I feel that. I gotta go with the Niners, man. Like, look what they've done already. And it's just like they can't do any wrong, bro. The team that I like, or it's still up in the air at least. We can't beat them to save our life. So I just feel like, how can you argue with this team? They're continuously winning, bro. Like, winning games on both sides of the ball, defense, offense. Just the team that they have built, bro, and the system that they have, it's just crazy. It looks like it's gonna be too much, man. I'm just being honest.
So the Niners defense Three times allowed more than 23 points last season. Um, Against the Eagles team, and they just lost all hope once Brock Purdy went down. Then Brock Purdy's backup, Johnson, went down the NFC title game. So they gave up 28 points to that Eagles offense. 44 points was given up to Pat Mahomes, but it's Pat Mahomes, the MVP, Super Bowl MVP. And a just out of nowhere game from Jared Stidham where they had 34, but the Niners won that game. And they just added probably one of the better defensive linemen in Javon Hargrave. The Niners' biggest threat to them in division is the uncertainty of quarterback. Brock Purdy should start, but with an elbow injury to his throwing arm, how's that going to affect him? Then it's Trey Lance. They spent all that draft capital to get him, and he might get outplayed by the last pick in the draft. And then they signed Sam Darnold, who was the third overall pick in his draft. So the uncertainty of quarterback room could be an overall threat to the Niners, but I think in order to be a threat to the Niners, you have to beat the Niners, and those other teams in the division can't do it. Not yet.
Not at all.
Seattle might be they might sneak one game. They might sneak a game in Seattle, but that's only because of the home field advantage that they have, and something might just go their way. But other than that, and I think that San Francisco would just be so ahead of them the rest of the way.
See, bro, what I think is that Seattle thing. I think Seattle is gonna win. They're gonna get a game on the 49ers that they're not supposed to win. And I think that the 49ers are gonna drop another game that they should not have lost within the division.
Okay, so you're saying a game they're not supposed to win. That means a game in San Fran. Probably let's give it Sunday night or Thursday night or Sunday night. Primetime football is what I'm saying. And Seattle's going to step up and win that game.
It's either going to be Seattle's going to beat them twice, but so this is what I'm saying. I think Seattle could go undefeated. They could. So I think it's either because I think Seattle's going to beat them at home, right? So you got to, in division games before the season starts, you got to do 50-50, bro, for the most part. Anybody can take anybody within the division. So I think that Seattle wins that home game. And then it's either going to be they're going to beat them. They're going to beat the 49ers at the 49ers, or 49ers are just going to lose to Arizona. Maybe when Kyler Murray gets back, maybe they get something figured out. Who knows? And they get a win on them or something like that. But I don't know. Maybe.
Yeah, that's a stretch.
It's all about what happens in the draft. If the Seahawks don't go out there, because there's guys that's going to be there. Stetson Bennett will be there later on in the draft. He'll be there probably day 3. Hendon Hooker could be there later on. And there, Dorian Thompson-Robinson. There's still Max Duggan. So there will be guys to get there. You don't have to spend the 5th pick on a quarterback. So there's going to be guys that that's what you want to go, because they're not going to start over Geno. It's just you didn't pay Geno for him to get outbeat by a rookie. It's just not going to happen.
Yeah.
So, and they already have a formula with Kenneth Walker. And so once they get that together, DK Metcalf, Tyler Lockett, that 5th pick in the draft should be somebody on defense. I don't know. I don't know if you take that risk and draft Jalen Carter, or if Will Anderson is there, there's no reason why he shouldn't be taken. If Will Anderson is there at 5, he should be
right.
He should be the pick. That should be it,
There's
without a question.
so I think they got every like mock draft I've seen, they got Will Anderson going like third.
Right.
But I don't know, man. So there's that dude from Texas Tech too, the edge rusher. I can't remember his name. It's something Wilson, I believe. But I know he's like the number. Him and Jalen Carter are going back and forth on, like, because he's an edge rusher. Jalen Carter's defensive tackle on like who's the better lineman, defensive lineman in the draft. So I keep seeing them going back and forth, man. So that might be another person that they could possibly pick up too at 5.
It all depends. If they go, and I think, me personally, I think if you take Anthony Richardson that high in the draft, this guy started 13 games and 57% completion percentage, man. Like, I understand the raw talent and all that other stuff, but I can't. I got something there right here at 5, and we got the talent to build. The only team standing in our way for real, there are 3 legit teams standing in the Seahawks' way in the NFC. The 49ers, that's on paper right now. The 49ers, the Eagles, and the Cowboys. That's it.
Yeah, I could agree with that.
So there's no, I don't want to say don't waste the pick on the future, but don't waste the pick on the future.
Yeah, I mean, like at that point, if you already know that you're not going to start whoever you pick up, like, hey, I know that I'm not going to start this quarterback, but I'm going to draft him anyways, and he's not going to start that year, or he might not even start the year after that. Bro, don't waste your 5th pick overall for that.
Because
none
of these prospects are Aaron Rodgers, who waited 3 years, or Pat Mahomes, who waited a year. None of those guys are those guys.
Right.
I don't want to be wrong. I don't timestamp me. I don't want to be wrong.
The question is going to be, how much faith do you have in your quarterback now?
They got an enormous amount of faith in him because they pay him.
I mean, they did pay him, so I mean, they got to have faith in him. So, but do you have faith in Gino that much that you don't want to get you a backup?
Yeah, I'm going to get me a backup, but in the 3rd round, when Stetson Bennett is still there, I got him.
Oh yeah, for sure.
That's it. I promise you. Drew Lock is still there, so him and
not even
there fight for that backup.
Yeah, because bro, you don't feel you. I would fill my first 3 picks with like defensive positions, because that means my 4. Because again, bro, my 4th pick, I'm still in the 2nd round. Like,
yeah. It boasts up the defense because the offense is solidified. DK Metcalf is a baller.
Right.
Tyler Lockett, baller. No offense, he's fast for a tight end. He can ball.
Yeah.
Kenneth Walker is legit. That dude.
Yeah. And see, so that's what I was saying, man. Like, maybe not early, but like I would take a running back before I would take a quarterback, because you need some depth at running back, bro. Like, you just got to have some. And
I don't know. I don't know if I would have called the Giants about Saquon, man. These teams, that's just me. That's just me playing ball. I would have called the Giants about Saquon.
They got the draft picks to trade away.
Yeah, they do.
Come on, now. I ain't asking Gino to do too much of nothing. But as stated earlier, the Cardinals have the number 3 pick in the draft and been fielding calls about the number 3 pick. But shit, they be fielding calls for DeAndre Hopkins. And in other wide receiver news, Odell Beckham Jr. signed a 1-year, $15 million deal worth up to $18 million with incentives with the Baltimore Ravens. Odell last played in 2022 Super Bowl, where he had 2 catches, 53 yards, and 1 tutty. So, Ty, let's start this conversation. Let's go back to Arizona real quick. which team should inquire about D Hop, and should Arizona trade him?
No, Arizona shouldn't trade him because I mean, what you gonna do if you don't? If you do, I mean, your team already struggling, bro. Like they already struggling hard. You're gonna lose a crucial piece to your team. But I mean, if they do trade him, you got to trade him somewhere where you can get something. If I was them, I'd have been trying to get Odell myself, but that's a different topic for a different day. But if they do trade him, I'd like to see him go somewhere. Nobody'd expect him to go. I let you. If that trade with Aaron Rodgers work out, let him go up there with Aaron, and I think that'll help him out because Aaron want what he want, and that's an extra piece, nothing but assistance for Aaron. So that's where I would like to see him go.
Yeah, I think I have Kansas City as one team.
Mm.
I think that
That'd be
they got right, and I don't know, him and Travis Kelsey would be splitting the reps up at that point, and that would just be lethal in Kansas City. But I don't know if D Hop wants to really be splitting it up like that, man. So I got Tennessee, and then I also had Green Bay as well. That might be a piece that might keep Aaron Rodgers in Green Bay.
Mm.
I mean, you would think a deal is already done, man. He says he plans on playing in New York next year and
Right,
this and that.
right.
Come on, man. Like, where's this deal at? We heard this like a month ago.
Yeah,
So
and that's what I'm saying. If he go to New York, send him with him.
yeah, man. I don't know, man. But I could see one of those three. Yeah.
So I like the Titans. I actually had the Titans, but they will have to figure it out at quarterback. If Ryan Tannehill is a guy, then cool. Let's go get him a guy like D Hop. And I think that if the D Hop trade happens, it's going to be in a couple weeks at draft night. But I had the Titans. I'm gonna throw a couple other ones out there. The Seahawks and the Bears. So
Mm.
the Bears already have draft capital with their trade for
Yeah.
so now it's just, hey man, we'll give you this pick. You send us D Hop. You just got your offense from Chase Claypool and Darnell Mooney to D Hop and DJ Moore. Just boom.
Like
Gift
that.
wrapping this thing to this man. And at that
Right.
point, you can still maneuver your way to maybe draft a running back. There's Keandre Miller from TCU, because I think Bijan Robinson will be gone at this point. But Keandre Miller from TCU is
Oh yeah.
flash. So
Yeah.
it makes sense. So Chicago should make some noise because that's what you drafted Justin Fields for. That's why you made the move. And with the Titans, it just makes sense because AJ Brown was the guy that Tannehill could rely on, and you get D Hop, man, and D Hop catches everything you throwing at him. So even still,
If I'm D Hop, I don't want to go to neither one of them teams. I ain't gonna lie to you.
right. D Hop, but the thing is, if you think a team like the only other team, the contenders that make sense right now, Buffalo makes sense, but Buffalo doesn't have the money to give D Hop OBJ money. Odell Beckham Jr. just got top wide receiver money. He hasn't played in almost 2 years.
Because he's ODB. I mean, he's OBJ. What do you expect?
I got you. That's DeAndre Hopkins we're talking about.
I understand.
Bro, it's
I'm not
D-Hop.
saying he shouldn't get paid as much, but I'm saying like I'm not going to one of those two teams to do it.
Speaking of which, Odell Beckham Jr. did get that 1 year, $15 million deal with sentenced up to $18 million, as reported by them dudes at ESPN. But there's social media pics with Lamar and old OBJ FaceTime together. So, what does this signing mean for the Ravens? Cam, let's start with you.
I think this is the Ravens' way of saying, "Hey, Lamar, remember how we don't get you receivers? Well, here's one. Here's why we didn't pay you. Let's see how it goes." I think this is kind of like their test for Lamar. Like, all right, here's your receiver. Let's see what you can do since you want like Deshaun Watson money. You know, I think that if I was Lamar though, I'd be like, all right, I'd come in and I'm telling you, I would try to win MVP. Like I would make that my mission. And then when the Ravens sit there and say, "Oh, all right, now we'll pay you," I'd be like, "Eat shit. I want a trade." And then I would go to a different team, bro, and get paid. Like, I don't know, man. It's good to see Lamar getting some help. I think he's gonna stay now. But I don't know. I feel like if he does, the Ravens just went the wrong way about this. Like,
so
The wrong
Todd,
which way they
Todd,
go.
tell me, should Lamar want to come back?
Fuck no.
I wouldn't. Yeah.
I want my motherfucking money. That's what I asked for. I didn't ask for another receiver. I asked for my bread. I've been asking for receivers. You didn't do that. Now I want my money. Now you want to give me what I was previously asking for. Try to dangle a little thing in my face and say, "Here you go. We got something for you." Ain't no trick or treat. You can't just give me a treat and think I'm going to go out there and do magic. Hell no.
But Baltimore only
Odell
has
Beckham
5
Jr.
draft picks.
Was a pivotal part to the Rams' success in the 2021 season. Without OBJ signing, they don't win.
This is true. And I do think it'll be a good thing for them, but I think it won't be the one thing that turns the season all the way around completely.
Go ahead, Cam.
I think OBJ is. I mean, he's a playmaker, bro. Like I think he is a game changer, 100%. I agree, man. I think if Lamar's back, man, like they are a contender
for sure. I
think this team becomes a contender if they make a draft day trade to go get JSN from O State. Because as I'm analyzing these highlights right here with OBJ, he's getting the bulk of these plays because the attention's on Cooper Kupp. So if you can get a guy like Jackson Smith and Jigba from O State, who's a great route runner, and he can get some of the attention. Now Odell's where Odell does his best work, right here in the slot, one-on-one. You're not going to stop him. You're not going to stop that. He can still give you that burst.
There you go.
So I think that now the Ravens, if Lamar is still on board, which baffles me, then now you need to be in their ear. All right, go get me JSN or go get me Jordan Addison. I need somebody who can go out there and go win it. I understand Rashad Bateman's there, but he's not going to get the attention that Cooper Kupp was getting, allowing OBJ to get the space that he wants to get. So it needs to be somebody else. There needs to be a counterpart.
Yeah, and they got to be smart because they only got 5 draft picks, bro. And their round 1 is number 22, and they don't have another pick until number 86 in round 3.
Oh my!
So So, man, if I was them, I'd be trying to trade up or something, man. But they got to be real smart with that pick.
The question Lamar has to ask himself is, am I going to win a chip this year? And if the answer is no, then fuck this team. Because
well, it depends on what they can do on offense because the defense they have it. They have an identity. The defense is there. They got cornerback. Marlon Humphrey is still that guy in the secondary. Cal Hamilton, he's in the second year. He's getting to his own. Then they got that guy David Njoku from Notre Dame. Michigan. So these guys, the defense is solidified. Not to mention Roquan Smith got 5 years, $100 million deal. So they understand what they want to do. So now I just can't. Odell Beckham Jr. is 30. He's on the opposite side of 30. He can't be the number one. Like, that's the guy I expect to go get me 8 to 10 catches a game. No, I need a solid 4 to 6 a game. Maybe with a touchdown every now and then. And if I can get 65 catches, about 8 to 950 yards and 6 touchdowns out of OBJ, that's exactly what I need. And then in the playoffs, you can act a fool. But that can't happen if he's the guy and Lamar's targeting him 135 times.
Mm-hmm. That's what I'm saying. I don't think he's the one thing that they need. They need that.
I mean, more. 15 mil with 18 worth up to 18 in incentives with your quarterback getting a franchise tag is insane.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah. I don't know though, bro, because like you were saying about the Ravens' identity, man. Everybody knows the Ravens have always been great at pass blocking and just they've always had a secondary. You know what I mean? Like they've always been great. They've always had a lot of interceptions and a lot of pass breakups and stuff like that. And then obviously they're known for having big linebackers. Ray Lewis, and then signing back Roquan Smith. So I think they are definitely going to help get this team, that make them a contender. But I think that Odell just kind of like pushes them over that little hump, of what they needed to be a legit contender.
All right, so we got the time. Let's throw a curveball in there. The top contenders last year in the AFC: Cincinnati, KC,
Yep.
Buffalo. They were top 3 seeds.
Mm-hmm.
With OBJ, let's assume they work things out with Lamar. Baffling. Can this team beat Buffalo?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. When the green's there. Can this team beat Cincinnati? I'm not talking about the regular season. They'll probably split those. But playoff, and you got to go to Cincy with a ticket to the AFC title game on the line.
Yeah.
Because that's a game where Odell was going to need to have 10 catches for over a buck and a touchdown.
Mm-hmm.
Now, he did it with the Rams in the playoffs.
I always pick against my boy Joe Shiesty. You know what I mean? I always pick against him, and I'm always wrong.
Keep telling y'all stop doing
but I feel like I still got to go against him on this one, bro. I think the Ravens.
You bet against Floyd.
Everybody's healthy. If we talking everybody's healthy, bro. Like everything like that. Regular game, or not regular game, but like playoff game, AFC title. All right. I think that they might be able to pull it off, bro. I think that they could.
I think with Justin Tucker, and if you get it the right way and the ball swing that way, then yeah, they could do it. So, because the other playoff teams that made it, the Chargers, I think OBJ and Lamar, they can be the Chargers team. They can be the Jaguars team. Well, That Jaguars team got Calvin Ridley. That might be a shootout that nobody's expecting. But
Mm,
can they beat Kansas City?
hell no.
They lost. They lost some people now. They 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 lost Orlando Brown, who was, I mean, one of their best
His
linemen.
blindside blocker. But now he's blocking for Joe
Um,
Burrow. So
right.
hmm And y'all said that they can beat them now. After
They lost
he
McCole
got
Hardman. I don't think they've re-signed Juju, have they?
no, Juju's 3-year, 33 mil with the Patriots.
I don't know. We just saw Patrick Mahomes win on like a broke foot.
Yeah.
So probably not.
Yeah, I think Pat Mahomes, he'll probably win with Sky Moore and Justin Watson. So as long as
Yeah.
87 is there, it's going to be tough to dethrone the Chiefs. I
Yeah.
think that if everything goes their way, they can beat the Bengals. I don't know that they'll be heads and shoulders better than the Bengals. I think that unless Von Miller is 100% for the Bills and they make some moves in the draft, I think it's
Yeah.
going to be a regression for the Bills. So yeah, I definitely see that the Ravens can overlap them and in place of contenders. They might be in the same place with Jacksonville because Jacksonville is now at a different expectation because of where they were last year. So so if we after the draft, but right now, if there's a Lamar returning, then I could put the Ravens after the Chiefs and the Bengals, but right there neck and neck with the Jaguars. I mean, I don't know about the Jets, so I don't understand why that trade hasn't happened.
I don't know, bro. Zach Wilson's probably going to be their quarterback next year.
God damn. What's wrong with it? He said, yeah, you was right a month ago that man said he tends to play for New York. That's tough. That's too damn bad. Too damn bad, Aaron. Oh man. We'll figure all that stuff out as we have a jam-packed NFL draft episode coming towards y'all soon. But now let's get into the NBA and the playoffs. The regular season is done and postseason is among us. We will start the playing tournament. And this tournament was established during 2020 bubble season. The 7 and 8 regular seeded teams each conference have 2 opportunities to win 1 game, while the 9th and 10th seed have to win twice. So it's 7 versus 8. The winner of that game going to be the 7th seed. They'll play the 2nd seed in the first round playoffs. The loser of that game still got an opportunity to be the 8th seed, as they'll play the winner of the 9 and 10 game. And the winner of that game will be the 8th and final seed of the conference. So let's pick our winners and make some first round bowl predictions, shall we? 7-8 Eastern Conference side playing. It's going on now. Miami and Atlanta. I got Miami taking that one. And then tomorrow we got Toronto and Chicago. It's going to be in Toronto, but I think Chicago, and get me here, Chicago, they got that dog in them. Pat Bev has not missed the playoffs. He's never missed the playoffs. So I think that they got that name. Not only are they going to win tomorrow in Toronto, they're going to win on Friday in Atlanta. Then they'll proceed to get swept by the Milwaukee Bucks. On the Western Conference side, the Lakers, 7 seed versus 8 seed Minnesota. Then there's 9 seed New Orleans Pelicans. This is a weird team. And 10th seed OKC. Now, I have LA because of the idiotic things that the Minnesota Timberwolves got going on as an organization. There's Jaden McDaniels won't be playing. He punched the wall. He fractured his hand. Well, we don't know if that's the reason why he fractured his hand, but That's the reason why he fractured his hand. And then Rudy Gobert is punching his own teammate. The Lakers are going to just obliterate these guys later on in the night.
I forgot all of that mess happened.
And then the Lakers will be playing the Grizzlies. We'll get into that later. And I think New Orleans can beat OKC because OKC is still young, and it's just Shea Gilgeous-Alexander is just way too much. And don't laugh, man. Zion's coming back. He won't be back Friday, but he might be back for the first round. So I think that Minnesota is still discombobulated. So I don't think they're going anywhere. I think they just lost their trip, even though they won on Sunday. I just don't think it's going to be enough. So I got LA and New Orleans as my 7 and 8 in the West, and Miami, Chicago is my 7 and 8 in the East.
Okay, so taking into consideration that I forgot all of that happened, I'll agree with the Lakers. But I don't want to. Because if that team was healthy, I would have picked Minnesota. As far as OKC and New Orleans, I don't have any faith in New Orleans, but I don't have any faith in OKC. So, I mean, hey, I do, however, have some newfound respect for Mr. Ingram. And I think with his contribution, and if Zion decides to show up, I think they might can pull it off. As far as Toronto and Chicago, I got Toronto, buddy. I haven't had faith in Chicago since they got rid of D Rose.
Wow.
So that should tell you something about how I feel about Chicago. And I'm missing the game. Oh, Miami.
Yeah, the game is going on right now. Miami and Atlanta.
Sheesh. I got Miami. I believe Jimmy buckets, but I definitely don't believe in Mr. Hero. I don't.
So who do you have being the 8 seeds? We got your 7 seeds, Los Angeles and Miami. Who would be the 8 seeds? Can Toronto beat Atlanta?
I got Toronto winning. Yeah, I had Toronto winning. And
okay. So Toronto would be an 8 seed getting swept by Milwaukee?
Yeah, then I got OKC winning against... I got New Orleans beating OKC. I got LA winning. And then I got that Miami. I got Miami, yeah.
So New Orleans is going to beat Minnesota to be the 8th seed?
Unfortunately, yeah. Because if Minnesota doesn't have that team, then I don't see them winning. It's unfortunate. They've been balling too.
I think Atlanta is the most mediocre team of all time because, bro, they're literally like 500, I think, on the season. Like, they're just mediocre. So I got Miami taking that one. I just think that there's just more depth. With them picking up Kevin Love too. I think he's been a big help. He's been a big help, man. Kevin Love's been around this game for forever. You've seen what he's done in Cleveland. They're gonna. I think they are retiring his jersey in Cleveland.
Good.
Yeah, they definitely should. But I mean, after picking him up, man, I mean, he's definitely helped out a lot. I think Miami's just too strong for Atlanta. I think Toronto's gonna win over Chicago. I feel like Chicago's just been downhill, man, for a long time. I'm just saying, man. I know that they gotta. You would think that they would be higher than what they are right now with that starting five, man. Like I'm just saying.
Look, man, look, it just unfortunate things happen. But you got a 1-game playoff. You just need 1 game with Zach LaVine, DeMar DeRozan, and Patrick Beverly and Pat Bev. Come on, man.
Okay, Zach LaVine, unreliable.
Hey, bro, Pat Bev's got to lose at least once, right?
Pat Bev
can't make it.
Man,
One time,
Pat
man. You know,
Bev is the play-in.
he's a minute.
He the all-time play-in tournament player, man.
hey, bro, Brady had to lose at some point too, bro.
I mean, but that was like years later.
Oh, man. Look, man.
I'm just saying But then I got the Lakers over Minnesota. Bro, Minnesota just does Minnesota things, I feel like.
Man,
First off, you traded so many draft picks. You traded 10 players to get Rudy Gobert there.
Mhm.
And this man has not been living up to
I don't know.
what he
Shit.
was doing in Utah. Like,
Oh.
damn. Come on, man. It says that, you know, and they traded D'Angelo Russell to the Lakers, and y'all play in this man that y'all just traded. He's about to go off on y'all.
Oh, good God.
He's about to go off on y'all.
It's going to be horrible.
Yeah, bro. I just don't see Minnesota doing anything at all.
Not without a team. It's tragic. I don't know what them boys gonna do, but
So what about New Orleans and OKC?
I got OKC.
So
I think
can
I think
OKC beat Memphis? I mean, Minnesota?
if OKC wins, I would say so.
I think so.
OKC being
yeah.
the 8th seed is a lot scarier than Minnesota being New Orleans being the 8th seed.
Yeah.
Because they're young
About a lot.
and like they're gonna make the Nuggets run. They're gonna make them guys run. Like the Pelicans, Zion, you know what he's gonna try to do. Well, not Zion. Brandon Ingram, he wants the mid-game range. Okay, see, they're gonna try to run. And Denver not trying to do that. Jokic is not built for that.
We've been waiting on Zion since he got there.
Yeah. Oh my
He got in the league.
Oh,
Come on,
my
man.
God.
Like every
He played like
year
50
before the
games.
season, I'm like, since they got Zion, I'm like, New Orleans gonna do their thing this year. Come on, bro. Like,
here's the thing, and this is why I'm still gonna be on the
every
Zion train. Joel Embiid had 3 years, his first 3 years, just riddled by injuries. So when he came out of Kansas, they knew he was gonna be that guy, but he just kept getting injured, and then now he's a perennial MVP candidate. Should be the MVP of this year. Then there's Steph Curry. He had his injury history his first few years with his ankle and all that other good stuff. So now Zion just got to get it right. He just got to get it right. This is the same guy in 2021 had 25 games consecutive of 25 points or more. Come on, man. Like, come on, man. He was doing numbers, man.
I
He
mean,
has
he
a
was
career
brilliant.
average
that was-
26 points per
that
game.
was 2 seasons ago.
Look, man, look.
We talking about 25 games 2
seasons.
seasons ago, bro. Come on. This dude, we've been waiting. Like I still want to see Zion play. You know, like I want to see him play like a full season. Like I'm still excited to see that.
Oh yeah, I don't know.
But
You should
but
get your hopes up.
Yeah,
I know, right? But man, they
that's
just
like
New Orleans. They just been doing that, bro. Like they just lose when they shouldn't lose, and when it comes to the playoffs, bro, like they either lose the play in or they get bounced first round.
Yeah, so we'll see. There's just a lot of talent: McCollum, Ingram, Zion, Jose Alvarado, Herb Jones. It's just a lot of talent. So you just got to see it. The play-in is going to be from today all the way up to Friday, with the first round starting on Saturday. The current locked-in first-round matchups on the East Side: 3-6 Philly and Brooklyn, and 4-5 is Cleveland, New York. Now Philly has a lot riding on their playoffs. Doc Rivers is in the hot seat. James Harden. They're talking about he's intrigued by going back to Houston next year. Go figure this. And then Joel Embiid. Like, how long is the process going to take? We need at least a conference final. That was my pick at the beginning of the season. The 76ers to represent the East. So I'm gonna still rock with these guys. And Brooklyn, they just surprised everybody. Brooklyn is doing without KD, without Kyrie, thanks to Mikal Bridges, 6 points per game in a Brooklyn Nets uniform, and they avoided the play-in tournament altogether. That's crazy. Cleveland is in the playoffs without LeBron for the first time since '98, and that is incredible to just even say.
wow.
Not only about Donovan Mitchell in his status, but about Bron. Like, jeez. But Donovan Mitchell has, I think, tied LeBron James for most points per game franchise record, and only his first season. So he's that guy, and he was supposed to go to New York. So this is just right that he plays New York. New York got their new guy, Jalen Brunson. Should have been an all-star, averaging over 20 points per game, about 8 assists, 5 rebounds. Julius Randle, 25 points per game, 10 rebounds a game. He's dealing with a sore ankle. And then on the Western Conference side of things, 3-6, Sacramento, first time in the playoffs in 16 years. 6 seed Warriors are the reigning champions. They haven't won on the road. They only won 11 road games all season long. But under Steve Kerr, as long as Steph Curry, Klay Thompson, Draymond Green has started every game in that series, they haven't lost. So there's that. And then 4-5, two-time Finals MVPs. Kevin Durant, Phoenix, Kawhi Leonard for the Clippers. We seen this a couple years ago, but Kevin Durant wasn't on that squad. Phoenix 1-6. That's when Kawhi Leonard got hurt for the 8th time. We towards ACL. So Kawhi's playing. We don't know what's going on with Paul George though. But Kawhi's been playing lights out the last few games. Which team? Throw this back. Okay, so Cam, answer this. Which team, if any, should be on upset alert?
I think it should be Philly. Right now, man, they look, bro. They got an MVP candidate who I think should be the MVP as well. They got a lot to lose, man. The city of Philly needs a championship, because how many times they went to a championship in the last year and lost?
Man, I remember the Eagles. I remember the Phillies. Damn, did they lose? They lost in the USFL championship too.
The city of Philly is depending on the 76ers right now. But also, as of today, James Harden, Tobias Harris, and PJ Tucker are day-to-day still. I'm going to assume that they're still going to play. But, I mean, you might be playing with a James Harden, Tobias Harris, and PJ Tucker that's not 100%. You know what I mean? And Mikal Bridges coming off of his fifth straight year playing every single regular season game. And the dude has been on a whole nother level ever since he got to New York, man.
Yeah.
So that's why I think, man, I think Brooklyn is gonna. I think that this is gonna be a good series, man. I think that Philly needs to watch out for them.
Yeah, Mikal Bridges scored over 40 points three times in the Brooklyn Nets uniform. So actually the only other player to have back-to-back 40-point games in a Brooklyn Nets uniform was KD. So yeah, he's been balling. I guess it's just something different when you throw in a Nets uniform. So yeah.
I don't know if it's gonna be an upset, but the Clippers, they here's the thing about the Clippers. They got a lot of talent on their team and somehow just can't put it all together for some reason. I mean, whether it be injuries or just people just not playing. I mean, they got John Wall on their team, right? And he's
John Wall is traded mid-season. John Wall is not currently employed by a team.
Not anymore, but they had John Wall on the team, and
yeah,
he was playing decent, and then was just not playing good at all. So I don't know what it is about about the Clippers that players go over there and they're great players, and then something happens, and they're just not anymore. But I just don't see them getting anywhere, like especially past this Phoenix team.
Yeah, Phoenix is 8-0 with KD in the lineup. He's averaging 26 points per game in a Phoenix Suns jersey. It's gonna be tough to beat that team 4 times out of 7. But I think, and to refute your point, Cam, about the 76ers, if the 76ers lose to a team that doesn't have Kevin Durant or Kyrie Irving and started the season with said Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving, and they take me out in the first round, Doc Rivers, he can't make it back. He shouldn't even go to the locker rooms for the post-game interview. Like, he should be on his ticket. Just go ahead call Houston. They need a coach. Because there's no way that Philly should even sniff upset. But if they do, and it's Mikal Bridges in them, they got it. Doc Rivers got to go. James Harden, you might just go ahead, go on to Houston. Joel, blow the whole thing up. Ask for trade. Tell him you want to go play with Luka or something. I don't know, bro. But you cannot know. The team that should be on upset alert is the defending champs, the Warriors, because they haven't won on the road. If this game goes, if the series goes 7 games, that's 4 times you're going to have to go on the road to win. Now, I'm not picking the Kings, but I'm saying I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be shocked if the Kings win this thing in 7 or 6 because they didn't snatch or they didn't give up home court advantage. But the only caveat to that is Sacramento, they just got to get on a bus to go to Sacramento. So they're not going to Phoenix.
They ain't going nowhere. They're going up the road.
And I can see why you say the Clippers. The Clippers have championship aspirations. All these teams have championship aspirations, but there's some realistic ones. Like the Lakers, if they get it right, the thing is they got to play the Grizzlies if they win tonight. You know, the Grizzlies, they're true title contenders. We don't know what's going to happen with the Nuggets. But they're the number 1 seed, so they should get some respect. But the Warriors, the Suns, the Clippers, those are teams that legit could be in the NBA Finals come June 1st. So yeah, the Clippers, man. If Paul George comes back anytime during the series, this is a whole different series. Because Kawhi is different, but Kawhi and PG. But it's the Warriors. The Warriors should be on upset alert. The Sacramento Kings, they haven't been here before, so they're just gonna be out there ball.
Yeah, they're gonna have to figure it out as they go,
which might work in their favor, especially because this team, you just can't just. And I might be eating my words in a couple weeks, but you can't just switch it on now that the playoffs are available. They haven't won on the road at all. The Warriors I'm talking about haven't won on the road at all year. So there's still, you just switch it up, and now you're just gonna be.
But that's how it works. That's why we got playoff P. You know what I'm saying? That's why we got playoff players. We call them playoff this and playoff that. I mean, that's how it works. When you get to the playoffs, it's a different game. So I mean, who knows?
That's another reason why I picked Philly, bro. Because I'm just saying, Doc Rivers been in the playoffs before, and we know what's happened.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm just saying, bro. I'm just saying. When he was with the Clippers, I'm just saying. I think this year we're gonna figure out who was the problem.
Yeah. He blew a 3-1 lead with the Clippers.
Yep.
And then, not to mention, early 2000s, he blew a 3-1 playoff lead as head coach for the Orlando Magic. Doc Rivers is the only. He's actually blown multiple 3-1 leads for the Clippers. But Doc Rivers is the only coach in NBA history to blow multiple 3-1 leads. So, I understand. And James Harden becomes a shell of himself in the playoffs. I understand. I'm not saying I don't understand why you picked him, but I'm saying, in all reality, if the Philadelphia...
But I'm saying I don't understand why you picked him.
Shit. I'm still confused.
But if the Philadelphia... No, listen to me. If the 76ers lose to the Nets, there's no KD. There's no Kyrie. Damn it, Ben Simmons ain't even playing.
Nope. And it ain't like he was really contributing when he was.
I'll tell you how I'm doing it. But they lose Mikal Bridges and Steph Curry. Man, everybody got to go. Everybody. Got to go. Embiid included. You got to go too, bro. Cause
you.
I'm just start pointing people out. You got to go.
They gonna look back at that Tobias Harris contract and be like, "Damn, why did we pay him this much?"
Mm-hmm.
No, they're gonna look back and like, "Damn, this should have been Jimmy Butler."
Like, you know what? We just gonna have to cut you a check, bro, because you got to get the fuck on too. Everybody got to get the fuck on out of here.
Yep. Yeah. There's no way. This time next week we're talking about a 2-1. Man, I say it. But if this time next week we're talking about a 2-1 Brooklyn lead in the series, this is going to be a problem. It's going to be a problem. Man, I shave my eyebrows or something. Like,
chill out.
Yeah, I'm gonna chill out.
Hey, no, we heard it. It's in the recording.
I can't allow that. You know, we about to move and shit. So.
Oh man, no, that is crazy. But yeah, we'll see. As right now, a quick update. There is an 11-point Atlanta Hawks lead. So we'll see. Maybe we don't know anything.
Hey, it wouldn't be the first time.
Wouldn't be the first time we got it wrong about basketball. So maybe you just need to change the unbiased everything but basketball podcast.
Yeah, I'm trying to tell you.
Oh man, but
so that March Madness was crazy.
It was crucial. It
was devastating.
It was a humbling experience. because it told me that I don't know shit about basketball.
Well, I guess nobody else in the world, because there wasn't a bracket that I know of that picked UConn originally as champs. But next week we'll get into NBA draft. We'll see if we was right in these playing predictions and talk about some playoff surprises so far in the first round. MLB's heating up. We're going to be watching Shohei Ohtani, Aaron Judge, and the new additions and the Bogarts in San Diego.
And the Red Sox.
Yeah, got a full slate going on next week, and we'll analyze more teams, but we're going to start with the AFC West. So just like some of the best menu items at Chipotle, it's a wrap. Drum roll, please. Y'all know what time it is. Okay. I got a good one now. All right. Okay, look. Why did the chicken cross the road?
You know, I was going to say something, but.
Because he seen Colonel Sanders coming with 11 herbs and spices. Mm-hmm. He's trying to get the hell out of there.
The only thing I ask is that y'all don't leave the Red Sox out. That's it.
Red Sox. Man, can we cut?
You ain't got to act like that.
Talking about chicken and Red Sox.